Okay, hello. All right, so a couple things I wanted to point out here. We see that this is forming lower lows, and so day prior, I put in these that upper trend line here because it broke the lower trend line here. These are just the regular trend lines, and you see that it did intersect into the M15 15-minute average, which now and it just left also the 5-minute average. These lines were posted at this interval, so technically it did already intersect or attempt to intersect the 5-minute average. 15's already crossed. It's continuing in downtrend, the momentum downtrend. Also, you can see it has this. I'm using trend lines to show that the downtrend is essentially intact. Even on the momentum indicator, there was a slight cross here, but on the chart itself, it doesn't look like that was significant. So that is continuing to downtrend, also the momentum. Like I said, this was extremely oversold. Once it crosses the zero oscillation, then it will be balanced. But usually, after balancing, we'll continue to. This is actually not a balance. The 100 value will be balanced. So this is actually 102, which is the maximum side of the range of 102 and 98. 100 is being the average. So it looks like it is decreasing the overbought. It's deflating the overbought state on the euro. Because it took a week to get up to this point from here, I would expect it to take a week to get here. But shorting does happen faster than buying, so maybe it would be half that. Maybe it would only take half of that time. So at most a week, perhaps we can see this, and optimistically speaking, half a week, we would see it intersect into this area, get into this area. So between half a week to 1 week, we'll see this line here and hit. Should do have a target here to take profit this, and then also this that is the daily average, and then this is the 1 hour average and the 4 hour average, which is actually easier for the price to hit these shorter time frame averages. So it should very easily cross this and want to converge onto this line. There shouldn't be much of a resistance to it. Okay, so that's essentially what's going on right now. I'm just waiting for this to fall, and we're going to be collecting about 300 pips from that. Also, there are some polarities I wanted to point out. It is currently under this polarity and is using it as resistance, so that's good. It's current, and I think it is, as long as that holds, then the next polarity under it is this one. You can see this polarity here, the max and the min. And then if it gets under here, I'm expecting this polarity here with this min and max. And then if it stays under that, then I'm just waiting for it to fall to at least this value here, the daily average. And then to top it off, we'll be at a very low risk trade there, and waiting for 80 pips to clean up at this point. You can see that there is an intersection here, and the time that this started falling, let's see, I printed, okay, so I printed these lines go up to this point in time, but this intersection here, you see there's a clear intersection here, and you can see that this intersection is happening at this max, exactly at this max value. See the intersection of these time frame averages? is the exact amount of this maximum. And what this intersection usually means is price is about to make a correction. It's either going to hit this, or there's going to be a correction, a max value or min value at this intersection, or price will cross the value at this intersection. So this is a very important, these intersecting points are very important. So I think that this represents the max value until these averages are hit. So that being said, can get a closer look at the momentum charts, but it doesn't. That being said, we'll wait and see what happens here. So the same thing with the UJ. I have not moved these lines. This is a daily, and US dollar is sliding downtrending, but needs to reconverge with these higher time frame averages. This is an H4. This is a daily. If you look on the weekly, right, it is more likely that these averages, these time frame averages, price will converge with these time frame averages before converging with this longer time frame average. Okay, so that's the logic. That's the logic. So in time, right? I mean, does that make sense? It should make sense, because you can also see a trend here, and it's just logical that that price will converge to these shorter time frame averages than before this higher one, this longer one. So that's what we're looking at here, is we're looking at it to converge to these points, these targets. If we continue looking up, we can see that when I plotted this price, it may intersect with this. Let's get an H1. Okay, so an H1 at this time I plotted the price, and technically price has not averaged out with this yet, but it could be just diverging up to these higher time frames. You don't want to get distracted by shorter time frames. This is an M15, M5, M15, and this is an H1. So for the market, price to average out at the higher time frames is more important for it. It's more of a priority. So there's the H1, the H4, and the daily. So it looks like a downtrend, but it has a priority to re-average with the higher time frames. Okay, so that's what's going on here. And this probably also, if we count 300 pips, we're counting this one right here. So the euro target for 300 pips corresponds to this average here on the UJ. This target. All right, so that's what we're looking at, and let's keep that in mind.